Still the talk station of the nation, 92.3 Nigeria. In for wonderful Wednesday morning to you. I've got guests with me right now in the studio, and he's got something really interesting and quite novel for me right here this morning. He is Dr. Sowemimo.
Mr.
Okay, so Mr. Sowemimo ADEYEMI, and he is from BLISS CAREGIVERS. They provide training for caregivers and offer care services for elderly and those recovering from surgery in the comfort of their homes. Mr. ADEYEMI, good to have you.
Thank you.
All right, so quickly tell us more about this service. There's a training for caregivers, and you also offer care services for elderly and those recovering from surgery. So how do you go about doing this?
Okay, thank you very much. My name once again is ADEYEMI Sowemimo. I'm the MD of the BLISS CAREGIVERS. The BLISS CAREGIVERS is the foremost caregiving agency in Nigeria. And just like you highlighted, we have our services in two folds. We have at-home caregiving services and caregivers training.
Okay.
Now, we take care for the at-home caregiving services. We take care of people, especially the elderly people, in the comfort of their homes. These are people who are managing various health challenges like stroke, like diabetes, high blood pressure, mobility challenge. That's what we do in the comfort of their homes. We send nurses to their homes, nurses, caregivers, and that is after we have determined the kind of care that we need, after we've done an assessment to know the kind of care they need.
Okay.
And we have over 100 domiciliary care homes across Nigeria. We have physical presence in Lagos. In Lagos, we have on Lagos mainland, Lagos Island. Then we have in Port Harcourt here. In Port Harcourt, we're at second floor, Ubud Plaza. That's opposite NTA second gate or opposite NEPA office inside NTA premises. Then we also have presence in Abuja and Ibadan.
Okay. If I move on to the next question, I would need us to really break it down a bit. You talked about doing assessment first off for the person who needs the training. That's the client now, or the should I say patient?
Yeah.
Right now. Now, I want to believe there is something you must have identified, sort of like a challenge before coming up with this idea, of offering care services to the elderly and those who may, just have come out of surgery. What is that challenge? What is that thing that inspired this whole idea?
Okay, now, this is a concept that we brought from the US, actually. Something that is out there everywhere in the world, but is in its infancy in Nigeria. And COVID-19 further encouraged that when people could not, easily get access to hospital care, right? And, and maybe I'll just bring in my story of what inspired this. There was a time my dad had kidney failure, and every time we needed, then as the last born, I was the only person at home trying to get admission into the university. I'm talking about 1991. And in my mind, I kept asking, because there's a way my mind works, I kept asking myself, why can't the hospital come to the house? Why every time? Because it's always a challenge taking him to the hospital. And, traveling to the US, where we had this training and we saw this exposure, I saw that, wow, this dream can actually come true.
Yeah.
And we checked the regulatory requirements in Nigeria. We saw that it's something that we could meet. And we went about that and we started that, and people started patronizing. It's still in its infancy, but the response is getting better. People are coming to appreciate it. We do an assessment, like I mentioned, the issue of assessment. When we get a call from potential care receiver or client, we do an assessment. From the assessment, we create what is called care profile. That helps us to know, okay, what is the scope of the care, what is the type of the care, what kind of health personnel will be able to be the round peg in the round hole for this. Is it a registered nurse? Is it a nursing assistant? Is it just an experienced caregiver? Is there going to be need for a physiotherapy services and the rest of that? So once we draw that, we come out with that care profile, then we are able to determine, okay, this is the price and this is how we're going to make the deployment.
Wow, quite interesting. All right, so the role of caregiving is a very vital one. Why is caregiving training very crucial for you?
Okay, now, like I mentioned earlier, caregiving training is the second part of the services that we render. We train people who want to become caregivers here in Nigeria or who want to travel abroad to go and work as caregivers. Okay. You will agree with me that to succeed in any endeavor in life, one must acquire the needed skills and competence. Most especially when you are talking of a role like the role of a caregiver that has to do with people's health and well-being. You agree with me that training them, ensuring they have the right competence cannot be overemphasized. That's why we invest so much. Our caregivers, our nurses, physiotherapists, we ensure that everyone that is coming from us, they are not just trained, they are certified. Like our registered nurses, they carry current practicing license. We ensure that because it's very important to us.
All right, so you talked about caregiving service being at its infancy level in Nigeria. What do you think, sets you apart from others that we may have out there?
Okay, now what sets us apart is the fact that, number one, as the owner of the vision, right, it is a passion to me, right? This is not just business, but it's a calling. And therefore, it will not be a surprise that our caregivers, our nursing assistants, our registered nurses, physiotherapists, are people who are experienced and compassionate in what they do. And again, the other thing that stands out is the fact that we offer personalized care. You see, from the assessment I mentioned, we are able to determine that, okay, this is the kind of care this particular person needs. This is the kind of person, apart from the technical competence. I mean, we also try to fit in, because there are some of the times you have all that the client needs is just compassionate care, in which you keep them company. Companionship care,
okay.
I meant to say. Then our rates are highly competitive. We sometimes work around the budget of our clients. Then again, you have peace of mind, and this is the major thing that stands us out. You have peace of mind when you relate with us, because all our caregivers, nurses, they are verified. They are not just trained, they are verified. Background checks is done. We make sure these are people that they submit guarantors. They are people that are traceable, people of good character, because they are coming to work in your homes. All
right, so you have an ongoing training at the moment?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so quickly tell us about that ongoing training program and what caregivers can expect to get.
Okay, for the training, like I mentioned, that the training is for people who want to be caregivers here in Nigeria or abroad. Now, the training, the first week of the training is in-class theory. The second week is in-class practical. Then after that, the caregivers, they go on internship, 300 hours of on-the-job training. Our syllabus, what we are training, we train according to the standards set by Health Education England, Skills for Care and Skills for Health. Now, the caregivers who want to work abroad, we give them support on how to get job sponsorship. We also advise them on how they can get the different requirements concerning their country of focus. But majorly we focus much more on United Kingdom, that's UK, because most of the students or candidates that come to us, they are focused towards United Kingdom. But it doesn't mean that the competence you acquire with us, you cannot use it in other countries. For example, we also have candidates that focus on traveling to Canada, Germany, Finland, and the rest of that. Okay,
so let's quickly get your contact details. How can they reach you?
Okay, we can be reached on 0812 062 3447, or you can visit our office at second floor, the BLISS Caregivers, second floor, Rehoboth Plaza, opposite NTA second gate, or opposite NEPA office inside NTA compound, Ngboba, Port Harcourt. Okay. You can also visit our website at www.theblissscaregivers.com.
Okay, give us the phone numbers once again.
0812 062 3447.
All right. Thank you very much. I have been speaking with Mr. Sowemimo Adeyemi from the BLISS Caregivers. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And hope to have you again.
Yeah, you're welcome.